Buenas a todos, bienvenidos al canal Gran Capi. Como podéis ver, seguimos en Siberia. Estos son nuestros objetivos. El principal es ve a la academia de música y el secundario usa la introspección antes de ir a la academia, vale. Bueno, aquí ya estuvimos. A ver, inspeccionar. Eso nos envía al tranvía, así que no interesa. Mirar, a ver.
Looks like this district has been more modernized than the antique shop district.
Aquí antes estaba el panadero que hacía bollos. Vamos a ver si podemos hacer aquí algo. No deja pasar, hombre. No me deja pasar, tío. Bueno, nada por aquí.
Me down!
Oscar? Bet you can't catch it!
Don't you dare! Put it down! Right now!
All right then. Oscar! Are you all right?
I had a bit of a bumpy ride, but I am glad to see you, Kate Walker.
Oscar. Oh, I've missed you so much.
I say, this display of emotion is most unreasonable, Kate Walker. I do hope you don't plan such profusion every time I change bodies.
It's just that I've been worrying about you. Where were you, Oscar?
Well, the mechanical instinct of my host took me for a ride, all across town. It took me the whole night to tame it, and that's when I bumped into those little rascals.
Yeah, lucky I was in the area, huh?
Quite. So, Kate Walker, what has happened since we parted at the Balaton River?
Maybe we should just sit down for a second, Oscar. This might take a while. And that's when Demoiselle Lenny gave me the address of the Music Academy in this neighborhood.
I see, Kate Walker.
Seguro que crees que estoy loca.
You must think I'm crazy, huh? Running after that girl, Dana, who must have died ages ago.
Well, Kate Walker, you know I have difficulty understanding illogical thought patterns. But in the end, what I do understand is that you need to find her. Is that correct, Kate Walker?
Yes, that is correct, Oscar. I'm glad you're taking it so well.
I don't see any fundamental difference between crossing Europe in search of mammoths, travelling on ostriches in an irradiated zone, or following your double. These are not things an automaton such as I take into consideration.
Any other thoughts, Oscar?
Well, I guess I could ask you where we are heading, but truth be told, it doesn't really matter. I will follow you wherever you lead, and for as long as you require my services, Kate Walker. That's what an automaton does.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh dear, I hope you're not going to become physical, are you?
No, I was just going to give you a pat on the back.
I would rather you refrain from having such thoughts. I am not a dog, you know. Whatever next?
Anyway, we'd better get going, Oscar, and you'd better keep out of sight.
Oh dear, I don't suppose I have any choice.
I'm so glad he's back.
It's all very humiliating for a sophisticated automaton like myself, you know.
Vale, pues ya está.
Is it really necessary for me to be shut up in here, Kate Walker?
Sorry, Oscar, but I don't want to run the risk of losing you again. Victims of the genocide committed by the fascists during the Second World War. Oh, so many deaths. I hope Dana made it through. Bullet holes. The brown shadow must have shot people dead here. How horrible.
Venga, marcha. Aquí no hay nada. Bueno, estoy mirando a ver si hay algo que pueda ayudarnos. Nada. ¿Qué pasa, buen hombre? Bueno, luego vamos por ahí. Vamos a dar la vuelta.
Looks like they've tried to blend all these new shops into the original facades. It doesn't make it any less a tourist trap, though. That brand was everywhere in New York when I left. And now they've even got branches here.
Empleado del mes, Joshua Denke, por su espectacular desempeño, premiado por Harry Beckenbauer, director regional. Y es este entonces.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Fräulein. What can I do for you?
La plaza.
How come the square is so well known?
Because of the mechanical orchestra there. It used to be quite the attraction. Every year, the Academy's best student would play along with it, as did renowned musicians from around the world.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. Is it scheduled to play today?
I'm afraid not. Several years back, the town council discussed computerizing it. But the plan never went through, and no one has ever heard its music since.
Vale, turismo.
There are a lot of tourists on the square.
Indeed. It attracts thousands of customers every year. A veritable boon for us retail shops.
And for the people of the town, too?
I wouldn't know about that. I live on the outskirts, as do most of the people. What with the rents being as high as they are here, you know?
Do you know anything about the Wagon Music Academy?
It's the large building across the square there. Used to be quite renowned worldwide, actually.
But not anymore?
Well, from what I gather, hardly anyone studies there nowadays. I wouldn't be surprised if it were closed.
Well, what happened?
Budget cuts from the town council, I guess. The academy can't be very lucrative.
I see. Thank you. I should go now.
Auf Wiedersehen, Fräulein. Come back again.
Vale, en marcha. Seguimos investigando. Vale, por ahí ya no me deja pasar, así que... Sí, un pintor, está la catedral. No me deja pasar. Hay como unas argollas ahí.
Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing.
Nada. Bueno, es la academia. Es el edificio de la academia. Vamos a cotillar por aquí a ver qué hay.
An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style. Like at Bohogstadt.
Vale, vamos allá.
I only know Dana as a waitress at the refuge, and yet everything seems to fit with her here. Not hard to imagine her coming here to the music academy to study. And who knows, maybe Leon waited for her outside one day as a surprise after returning from his Baltayar expedition.
Vale, continuamos. Vale, ya está.
Strange. I can't open it like this. It looks like it's been mechanically sealed.
Debido a la futura informatización de la orquesta mecánica de la Plaza de la Música, queda terminantemente prohibido tocar este piano hasta nuevo aviso. Ayuntamiento de Wagon, septiembre de 2005.
I don't think I'll be able to open it directly.
Bueno, pues vamos yendo. Carta del ayuntamiento. A ver, Ayuntamiento Wagon Ostental. De conformidad con lo dispuesto en el decreto municipal Por la presente se pone en su conocimiento la orden de desahucio, cuyo plazo máximo de ejecución es del día 26 de noviembre de 2005, fecha en la que deberán haber abandonado las instalaciones del ayuntamiento de Wagon que en ese momento están ocupando. El motivo del desalojo es el siguiente: el impago de la cuota de alquiler vigente y de las cuotas anteriores cuando se han solicitado conforme al decreto municipal 136 2.4. Se le hizo llegar un requerimiento de pago del alquiler el 15 de septiembre de 2005 y ustedes se negaron a pagar la renta correspondiente al periodo comprendido entre el 15 de junio y el 13 de octubre de 2005. Asimismo, se les notifica que tienen derecho a evitar este desahucio mediante el abono de todos los pagos atrasados antes de la fecha del vencimiento de esta notificación. Por la presente, certifico que el 14 de octubre de 2005 a las 11, o sea, a las 10:15 am, le he entregado en mano al señor Maximilian Mauler una copia auténtica de la notificación original que consta sobre estas líneas, señor Wolfgang Schneider, alcalde de Wagon. Vale. Pues esta es una carta de desahucio y estas son las cartas de facturas.
They look like letters of formal notice. They probably haven't been paying the bills for some time.
Recorte de periódico Academia de Música. Wagon conmemora 60 años de libertad con la celebración del aniversario de la Academia de Música. Bueno, todo esto, a ver qué pone aquí. Una ceremonia que congregó a cientos de personas en las calles de Wagon y que culminó con un solemne homenaje a los héroes de la liberación en la Academia de Música de Wagon, seguido de un ameno baile al aire libre en la Plaza de la Música. Bueno, está explicando todo esto. La Academia está al borde de la bancarrota y por lo tanto su cierre es inminente, declaró. El homenaje de Wagon a su liberación fue la última de una serie de celebraciones con motivo del 60 aniversario, organizados por Orchestra para señalar momentos críticos que se llevaron la capitulación de la sombra marrón y el final de la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Vale, muy bien. Son recortes de periódico. Vamos a seguir mirando. ¿Qué por aquí?
So that's the famous Wagon Music Academy? It's not what I was expecting.
No tenemos nada que marcar. Ahí señala, ¿vale? ¿Qué pasa a leer?
It looks like
Parece
the rector is desperate to reduce the costs of running the academy.
usar solo para urgencias. No es un teléfono público, ¿vale? Rector Maximilian Mauler. Vale, un timbre.
Guten Tag.
What now? If you're from the council, you can come back when I'm not so busy.
Oh, sorry, you startled me.
So, now what do you want, council minion?
I'm not from the council. I'm just a visitor here. I came because I was hoping to look at the file of a student from the 1930s.
Oh. I'm sorry, It's just that I haven't time for digging up old files from 70 years ago. I have way too much to do here, you understand.
I can tell you're a little overwhelmed. Where's the rest of the staff? Or maybe a student could show me.
You are standing in front of the rector and the only employee of this academy. My name is Maximilian Mahler, and it falls upon me to manage everything on the premises, the maintenance, the archiving, and the lot before we close next month. So, if you don't mind...
I'm very sorry to hear that the academy is closing, and I can see you're extremely busy, but I've come such a long way to see it. I'd be so grateful if you could locate it. It's really important to me.
And so is this place important to me, too. And I would love to hear the mechanical orchestra play one last time before the academy closes. But, alas, I can't, can I? Unless,
Unless what?
well, you know.
Okay, so you're suggesting that you'll only get me the file if I get that mechanical orchestra going? Is that it? Well, Herr Mahler, that's called blackmail.
No, young lady. We call that you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Otherwise, we all might as well live on islands, don't you think?
Okay, I'll give it a try. Believe it or not, I have seen mechanisms like the one on the square before.
Well, in that case, I promise to give you the file in return for your services.
Thanks.
But I must warn you that the square has undergone some transformations over the years, and some parts of the mechanism may be difficult to get to.
Don't worry, I'll make myself thin and slide between the cracks.
You'll find some of them scattered around the square, and some of the others you'll find in the clock tower. Now, if you'll excuse me for a second.
What are you...
Now, what is the name of that student you're interested in?
Rose. Dana Rose.
And what were the years she attended our illustrious academy?
In the 30s. 1937, to be precise.
Oh, and here it is. And here you will find the annual inspection reports of the mechanisms by Frau Beckmann.
Frau Beckmann?
She was the rectress of the academy during the years you spoke of. These are from 1937. You see, I have a marvelous memory regarding archives. This is why I have chosen Frau Beckmann's, because there's something in here regarding that Edna Droz you spoke of.
Dana Rose.
Quite. You will also find some sheet music with annotations. This is the Hymn of Wagon, which you must play on the piano on the square in order to activate the Orchestra of Automatons. Once you have fixed the mechanisms, of course. All right then, here you go. What are you waiting for?
This sheet music corresponds to the piano part for the Hymn of Wagon. Someone's added annotations. They could help me play the hymn on the piano on the square, like the rector asked me to.
Vale, más cosas, a ver qué esto es.
I wonder what it's supposed to represent. The report that the rectoress of the academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. According to the present rector, I should find all the information I need to repair the mechanisms on the square. Music Academy Inspection Report, October 12, 1937.
Today, I was due to inspect the musical mechanisms that enable students to give a public display of their talent and enable us to showcase the quality of our teaching to the people of our beautiful town. Like every year, I needed a volunteer from our students to help me during the inspection, and this year's choice was obvious.
I'm fine, really.
Well, you're looking off color, darling, and on edge.
No, it's just that It's just that I haven't heard from Leon since he left with the Origin expedition from Kantar. And also,
Well, we've got company. You'll tell me later, Dana, darling. Meantime, be good and stay safe.
You too, Yunta.
Is everything alright? You look under the weather. We don't want one of our best and brightest to fall ill now, do we?
I'm just a little worried, that's all. About a friend who has left on a long voyage.
And who was that lady?
Just a friend I met this summer.
You do keep some surprising company, Fraulein Rose. Anyway, I have something for you that will take your mind off things.
Oh?
Would it interest you to see the mechanisms that enabled you to perform so brilliantly here last spring?
That would be wonderful.
Good. Come and join me at the kiosk when you have a moment. But don't be too long, though.
Bueno, pues ahora estamos manejando a Dana. Tenemos que hablar con Frau Beckmann.
Come and see, Fraulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an Academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
¿Por qué yo no?
Thank you very much for choosing me for this task, Frau Beckmann, but why me?
Consider it a reward for being one of the best students of the Academy. And it looks to me like you need something to take your mind off your worries. Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
Do you know who built the mechanical orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Vorarlberg some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Wagon while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire. So he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
When the mechanical orchestra played along with me last spring, it was incredible. But how does it manage to play at the same tempo as the piano? It was almost like in a dream.
Oh, it wasn't dream work, Fraulein, but clockwork. The piano is connected to the mechanism that you are going to inspect, and the hymn of Wagon played on the keys. That's what sets the rhythm and the intensity of the performance, and that's what triggers everything else.
Vera.
What happened to Vera Schönberg? My mother always says it's the saddest story.
And she's right. You probably know that Vera Schönberg was Wagon's most famous musician at the beginning of the century. But her legend was truly born the night she performed a cello concerto right here on the square. It was also the night of the worst fire in Wagon's modern history.
And Frau Schönberg, she died in the fire, right?
She did. As well as all the other musicians and the entire audience. They were surrounded by flames, trapped on this square.
How dreadful.
Dreadful indeed. But according to the legend, Vera Schönberg kept playing Wagon's hymn until the very end. She understood they were all doomed to die, and her music brought them peace of mind during their last moments. This automaton you played with last spring was created in her image as a final tribute.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know all about the legend of Vera Schönberg. Was there something else, Fräulein Rose?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fräulein.
Vale, me ha dado una llave.
According to Frau Beckmann, it opens the maintenance room just next to the clock tower.
Gracias al documento que encontró Kate en 2005 podrás revivir los acontecimientos del pasado que este describe. Usa la información que obtuvo Dana en el pasado para avanzar con Kate. Haz clic con el botón para cambiar entre Kate y Dana. Vale. Vale, ya está ahora. Kate. Tiene que ser Kate, ¿no? Repara los autómatas de la plaza y repara el mecanismo de la torre del reloj. Ahí va, no. No quiero hablar contigo. A ver. No, voy a cambiar.
Looks like the rector was right, Oscar. I should be able to find the mechanisms he wants me to repair by following the circuit Dana described in the report.
They would still need to be accessible to us today, Kate Walker.
Glad to see you haven't lost any of your legendary optimism, my dear Oscar.
Habla con el rector. A ver.
Excuse me. Hello?
Now what?
Why is the academy going to close?
For the simple reason that we have no students. No students, no lessons. No lessons, no academy.
And why are there no students? If that's not a stupid question.
Because the mayor has taken away our grant that enabled our institution to become famous the world over.
Why would he do that?
Oh, budget restrictions, apparently. So, no staff, no students.
No students, no lessons. I get it.
But, between you and me and this counter, I'd say that's all just a pretext to get us out of the building.
And why would anyone want to do that?
To make others rich, of course. Property developers who are going to slice our institution up into shops, apartments, and office spaces, just like they've done with all the other buildings around the musical square.
El piano.
There's just one problem. Even if I do manage to fix all the different parts of the mechanical orchestra, I still have to play the piano properly, and I haven't played piano since I left junior high. My mom bought me one when I was a kid, but it really wasn't my strong suit.
There's no need to worry. You don't need to be a virtuoso to activate the mechanism. The mechanical orchestra will come out if you play all the notes in the right order, regardless of the rhythm. You just need to know the basics of music reading.
I see you're not a fan of modernizing the square.
Oh, the council, in its great wisdom, deemed it outdated and unpredictable for the musical automatons to be triggered by the best student in the academy, or a soloist, or a virtuoso visiting Wagon. Not to mention buskers, they certainly don't attract any tourists. No, what they thought was they would electrify and computerize the activation of the mechanical concert. So it would happen on a schedule, like an attraction.
Did they do it?
Oh, the talks went on and on, but nothing was ever done. And so the square has basically been abandoned. And the mechanical automatons have fallen into disrepair.
I'd better get going then.
Quite. Good luck with the mechanisms, Fraulein.
A ver, repara la orquesta mecánica. Bueno, vamos aquí a cotillar esto que es.
Given the condition of that door, it should give way if I force it a bit.
Impossible, Kate Walker. Such an act is illegal.
Let's just hope that no police come by here.
Vale.
The connection between this mechanism and the other ones on the square seems to be operational. Looks like a part is missing.
Nada.
Something's wrong. I don't believe it. Because of that van, I can't get to the mechanism. I'll have to find a way to move it.
Bueno, está el mecanismo ahí.
Looks like they've tried to blend all these new shops into the original facades. It doesn't make it any less a tourist trap, though.
Bueno, necesito a Dana. ¿Esto qué es? Otro mecanismo. Bueno, vale. Necesito a Dana, así que...
I can hardly believe I held my concert here just 6 months ago. 6 months. Seems like a lifetime. So much has happened. Meeting Leon for a start. It would be so good if you were here now. I love receiving his letters since he left to Baltea with the Origin expedition. The way he described Kantar, the capital, made it sound like a city from a dream. We've said so much on paper. And I love to read between the lines. But since the expedition left Kantar for the mountains, no news. I just hope he's okay.
Vale.
You can tell, Frau Beckman, this automaton still works correctly. but it's so filthy that it won't last long. It's going to take me the whole day to give it a good clean if it's to get past winter.
Bueno, tiene todas esas letras. La A, aquí en esta posición. La B.
The maintenance man said it was functional. I shouldn't touch it.
La G, la C.
It seems perfectly
Parece que
functional.
funciona. ¿Esto qué número tiene ahí? Un 6, un 4, un 2, un 8. Vale. Vale, perfecto.
So you're the one Frau Beckman sent, are you? Well, you can tell her there's no problem with this automaton. Just needs cleaning up and a bit of oiling. Have a gander at the mechanism if you like.
Vale, la torre del reloj. Vale, está aquí, está la tía esta. La violinista. Plaza del reloj. O sea, torre del reloj.
A part of the mechanism was damaged, but I changed it. You can tell Frau Beckman everything's in order now.
Wow. I would hate to be the one who must tune this. This looks complex.
Vale, y esto. Y ese número es 4, 2, 5, 3. Vale. Bueno, vamos a la torre del reloj.
It's locked.
La llave, solo tenemos esa.
Hey, careful what you're doing here, right? Don't go and injure yourself or damage any of the material.
The spare parts for the automatons on the square.
I just come down from the tower. You can tell Frau Beckman everything's in order up there. The mechanism's in perfect condition.
According to what the maintenance guy told Dan,
Everything's fine upstairs. No need to return.
that elevator Dana tried to take, it leads to the clock tower. We need to find it, Oscar.
Bueno, aquí no hay nada que hacer.
I should go back and see Frau Beckman.
Hay que visitar a la señora esta, entonces. ¿Dónde está la puerta? Ahí al otro lado. Has llegado al final de los acontecimientos del pasado descritos en el documento. No obstante, es recomendable que sigas explorando dichos acontecimientos, ya que sigue disponible toda la información que necesitas para avanzar en 2005. De ti depende encontrarla. Vale.
The report ends here. It doesn't say what happened next.
Ahora pasamos. Bueno, aquí estamos. La torre del reloj. A ver, torre del reloj. Es esta, tío.
Looks locked.
Parece
Can't
cerrada.
go in.
¿Y la otra puerta? No se puede entrar ahí. Venga, baja. Corriendo, ¿eh? A ver si ve la perspectiva, es que no se ve aquí nada. Bueno, está más aquí el violinista, está aquí la violinista. No puedo girar más para allá, bueno. ¿Y aquí dónde está? Es la tienda, macho. Hay que jorobarse.
That brand was everywhere in New York when I left. And now they've even... According to the report, we can access the clock tower mechanism through this building, in what today must be the back room.
There is...
Ah, Fräulein. So, anything else I can help you with?
Well, I need to get to the back room of the shop.
This shop?
Yes, if you don't...
I'm sorry, but it's strictly forbidden to the public. Besides, why would anyone want to go back there?
Well, it seems that the back room has the only access to the clock tower, which is where I need to get.
I'm sorry, but it's against company rules. I can't allow it, Fräulein.
Okay, thanks anyway. Okay, I need to find...
Ah, por la parte de atrás. Vamos a ver si se puede.
I should be able to get through it, if I can reach it.
Con esto, entonces.
I should be able to push this dumpster under the window.
Vale.
Good. Now I just have to find the elevator to the clock tower.
Must I remind you that we are here illegally, Kate Walker? The employee will be very surprised to see you coming out of his back room.
According to the report, the elevator should be behind there. Let's hope it hasn't been walled up since. There. Okay. Just need to clear the passageway.
Vale. Vamos allá. Ahora, repara la orquesta mecánica, repara los autómatas. Vamos a subir. Último piso, ¿no? Vale. ¿Esto es? Mirar.
They're still magnificent, in spite of their age. I wonder how long it's been since they were activated.
Subir. No queda otra. Vale, ahora... Nada por aquí.
Looks like I need to put that key in the mechanism to activate it. That's it for the engine.
Vale.
Now I should open those large doors.
Por aquí, por este lado. ¿Esto qué es?
I should be able to unlock the doors with that mechanism.
Well,
Yes,
there
sir.
you, Kate Walker. You seem to be on the right track to successfully completing the service the rector asked of you.
Thanks, Oscar. But I still have to find the other mechanisms. Looks like spare parts for automatons. Looks like spare parts for automatons.
Vale. Nada, macho. A subir. Vale, ahora... Ahora de vuelta ya está. No se puede mover esto. ¿Qué quedaría pendiente? Repara los autómatas de la plaza. Repara la orquesta mecánica. Despeja el camino hacia el mecanismo que está detrás del camión, ¿no? Bueno, a ver lo del camión, a ver qué hay que hacer. ¿Dónde derecha está eso? Creo que está por ahí. Ah, ahí está el camión, vale. Es que hay un mecanismo ahí, no puedo llegar y está el camión en medio. Venga. Vale, a ver, es un número de teléfono, ah, vale. 5123-888-321.
I need to find the owner.
Vale, voy a llamar allí, a la academia. Vamos. Otra vez aquí, ya el hombre, me están torturando a esta mujer. Vale, 5. a ver, 1, 2, 3, 3 ochos, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, excuse me, but your van's parked on the square and it's blocking the way. Would you mind moving it?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm with a client nearby. I'll move it right away.
Thank you.
Vale, listo entero. Vale, ya está despejado. Bueno, esto vamos a dejarlo. Vamos a seguir. ¿Qué es lo que queda pendiente? A ver. Reparar los autómatas de la plaza. Y repara la orquesta mecánica. Bueno, vamos allá. ¿El que tenía abierto cuál era? ¿Qué número era? ¿O solo había uno? Aquí está. Vale, vamos a darle a Tana Rose. ¿Dónde vas? Inspeccionar tiene... Bueno, a ver, vamos a hacer cambio. Observar.
Looks like a part is missing.
Bueno, yo creo que va a ser esto, ¿no? Pieza mecánica, vale.
Half done. Let's see what's next.
Siguiente. Inspeccionar. Tengo que ir con la tía esta. A ver. Mírame el número. ¿O dónde es el número? Vale, ahí no me deja verlo. Vale, ¿qué número era? 6428. Vale. Vale, entonces sería... si le doy la vuelta, a ver... Sería el 1, por ejemplo. No, por ejemplo, no es... Como es una ruleta, pues el otro lado sería el 1. Luego, este sería el 9. La vuelta del 4. Esta es la vuelta del 6. Esta es la vuelta del 2. O sea, sería un 7. Y 7. Y a ver, la vuelta del 8. Vale, yo creo que ya está, ¿no? Bueno, perdón, la vuelta del 8 que es el 3. O sea, hay un patrón que es menos 5 todos. Ahí está, 6, 4, 2, 8. El patrón es menos 5 en todos, vale. A ver. Uf. Y en el otro lado que era, lo tenía apuntado, era el A. Aquí tiene que ser A. Ah, no, este para meterlo ahí. Ah, vale. Vale, ya está. No, pero hay que bajarlo un poquito, a ver. Ahí está bien, vale. El ahora es el D. Este es el D, hay que bajarle para ahí. Te la macho. Ahí el tercero. Y ahora el D. Este tiene que ser el D, este que hay aquí. Pero esto tengo que bajármele, no llega a ver. Ahí va. Se choca. Vale, ese sigue siendo el D. A ver, llegamos ahí, vale. Claro, pero ahí no llega. Bueno, dejo ahí. Es el D, voy a girarlo. D, ese es el C. Este está bien. No, este hay que bajarlo un poquito. Ahí. Vale, el D hay que ponerle este. Hay que ponerle aquí. Vale, entonces yo creo que con este, ¿vale? Que es demasiado largo, a ver. Engancha ahí, venga. Vale. Hey. No, pero no. No, tiene que ser uno que empuje este. Joder, pues no funciona, tío. ¿Con este? No, pero este no llega. Este tampoco llega, macho. Y este es el más grande. Engánchate ahí. No, tiene que ser uno que empuje. Este. Venga, empújate, hombre. Tiene que ser... Ah, no. Joder, es este, tío. Claro, aquí estoy hecho yo, vamos. Estoy hecho un lío ya. Este es el G. Ahí va. ¿No se puede más bajo? Nada. Este es el G. Vale, abajo del todo. Vale, no me deja. Con este. Se obstaculiza en uno con el otro. Venga, ya, hombre. O sea, el G tiene que ir abajo del todo. Pero no puedo bajarle. Ah, con este, vale. Vale. Esto ya está bien. C y G ya está bien. Ahora falta el D. Ese, hay que bajarle. Estar en la... Venga, hombre. Ahí hay que pasarle uno por encima del otro. Vale, pues está, ahí va. Este es el D. Ahí va, ¿dónde vas? Vale, hace de G. Ya está, vale. El A hay que bajarle un tramo más. Vale, pues ya está. Vale, ahora yo creo que lo más fácil. Ahora llega el hombre este. Ah, no, es el de la bicicleta, ¿no? No, ese no es. Quizá ahora venga lo más difícil. A ver dónde está. Va girando de momento. Ahí está. Bueno, a ver. Señorita Dana. Vamos a ver. Estoy desorientado, no sé dónde es. Ah, aquí, vale. Venga, no puedo pasar. A ver, es el 4, 2, 5 y 3, vale. Cuatro, 2, 5, 3. O sea, el 4 sería, la vuelta sería el 9. Y este, el 2, sería... La vuelta sería el 7. Y el 5 sería el 0, vale. Y este sería el 8, vale. Digamos que hay un patrón de más 5 en todos. Vale, bueno, ahora viene esto. Inspeccionar. Creo que es ahí. Bueno, voy a dejarlo ahí. A ver, volver. Informe de la rectora, no. Vale, bueno, o sea que tenemos que hacer esto. Vale, Dana. Vale, necesitamos a Dana. Si nos echan una manilla. Estos dos arriba y estos dos así, ¿vale? 2 arriba. Y 2 abajo. Venga. Ahí. Estos 2 arriba. Ahí, este arriba. Vale. 2 ahí, vale. Bueno, esto ya está. Ahora este. A ver, Dana, ¿qué nos cuentas? Vale, así. Uno arriba, uno abajo. Vale, este arriba. Este abajo. Vale, perfecto. Dana, a ver qué nos cuentas. Ahora este así. Abajo, tumbado. Abajo y tumbado, vale. Bueno, ya lo hemos liado. Está obstaculizado esto. He dicho, a ver, hemos dicho que abajo y tumbado, ahí. Vale, ahora estos 4. Vale, así. Luego este abajo, arriba. Vale, arriba, abajo, este arriba y luego abajo. Venga, hombre. No me deja. Ah. A ver. Ahí, vale. Y este abajo, es arriba, es abajo. Y luego quedan estos. Este no sé cuál es. Yo creo que ya está. Los 3 así, vale. Vale, este está libre. Este está ahí, ahí, vale. Vale, yo creo que ha ido bastante bien. A ver. Volver. Ahora el otro tramo. Bueno, esto para girar. Bueno, va a tener entretenimiento ahí. A ver, Dana. Joder, macho. Vale, ahora vamos con este. Vale, ahí. Vale, se ha abierto el segundo. Vale. Vale, hay 2 abiertos. Este tiene esta ranura, ese. Ah, sí. Luego no sé si están abiertos los 2, vale. Vale, entonces está bien eso ya. Vale. Ah, bueno, pero están abiertos, a ver. Y este baja aquí. Vale, perfecto. El siguiente, este. 2 abajo y 2 así cruzados. Vale, lo que no sé si están abiertos o cerrados. Vale, 2 y 2 cerrados arriba. O sea, 2 abiertos abajo. Y 2 abiertos arriba. Vale, sí, pero esto está ahí está bien, 2. No, pero hay que girarle más para acá. Este es. Ese es, vale. Están los 2 cerrados y 2 abiertos. Vale, este de aquí, ¿cuál es? No. Este de abajo, ¿no? Vale, y arriba. Vale, siguiente. A ver, 1 y aquí. Así, ¿no? Vale, no sé si están abiertos o cerrados. Creo que cerrados de abajo, vale. Cerrados de abajo, marchando. ¿Este qué es? De aquí. Vale. Siguiente. Volvemos al pasado. Aquí 1, 2, así cruzados. O sea, en diagonal y estos 3, ¿no? Vale, pues ya está. Bueno, ya debería funcionar, ¿eh? Vale, eso no sé cómo está. Aquí el cacharrito aquí. Vale, pero está... Inspeccionar. Arriba del todo, vale. ¿Y esto no puedo inspeccionarlo o qué? Vale, esto digo yo que estará aquí. A ver. Vale.
Right. Okay. I think this is the last one.
That's right, Kate Walker. You have to go back and activate the piano on the square like the rector asked you.
All the mechanisms on the square are working. I just need to deal with the piano now.
It looks like this wheel is designed to activate the piano's engine, thanks to the dynamo effect, Kate Walker.
Then I guess I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on again.
Aquí la partitura. Informe, cartera, partitura. Vale.
Okay, the sheet music is in place. I can't play. The engine is off.
Vale, o sea, no funciona el motor, aquí le pasa algo, a ver.
That doesn't
No.
work.
¿Qué hay ahí esto, no? Cacharro estos dos. Vale, ahora se abre.
Poor little thing.
There is no need to get sentimental, Kate Walker. The automaton...
Broken.
Vale, es un autómata roto.
Broken.
Usar... Este.
Wait, Kate Walker. I am a highly evolved automaton.
Yes, and built to serve several purposes. Off you go now.
I see. You still haven't lost any of your irritating habits, Kate Walker.
Look on the bright side, Oscar. Thanks to you, the piano works now.
Well, hurry up. and make use of it like the rector said.
Venga, marcha.
Is everything all right, Kate Walker?
It's the same. Exactly the same.
I beg your pardon?
The song I just played with the automatons, Wagon's hymn, it's exactly the same melody as the one my mom's music box used to play. I used to listen to it all the time when I was a kid. We never did find out what it was.
And finding it today represents a major breakthrough, because?
Because it means that there must be a link between Wagon, my mom, and probably Dana, too. Dana, who looks so much like me.
Ah, a family connection then.
I don't know, but it's possible. And you can be sure as hell that I'm gonna find out as soon as I've picked up Dana's trail again. Come on, Oscar. Our dear Mahler owes us a file.
Did I already mention how humiliating I think this is?
Oh, you did, Oscar. You did.
Vale, coge la ficha. Vamos allá.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed your concert so much. Now I can retire fulfilled.
Glad to have been of service. I believe you have a file for me.
Of course, of course. Here it is. Dana Rose, just like you asked.
Thanks. At last.
No address here. Oh, this is definitely Dana's file. Now, the address. Dana's home address in 1937. A detached house, it seems. Number 20, Brücke del Nebel. The Bridge of Mists, huh?
Found what you were looking for?
I think so. Well, thank you. And goodbye.
No, thank you, Fraulein.
Vale, usa el tranvía para ir al puente. Vale. Venga. Sale. Bueno, aquí ya hemos cumplido. ¿Dónde va? Bueno, vamos de tranvía en tranvía. Tú tira para adelante, venga. ¿Dónde está el tranvía? Aquí en este lado. Ah, vale, vale. Está en este lado. Bueno. Vale, ahora aparece la vieja casa de Dana. Pues venga, vamos para allá. La vieja casa de Dana.
I say, this is a very unpleasant way of traveling, Kate Walker.
I know, Oscar. I promise I'll let you out as soon as possible, okay? Okay, Oscar. Now we have to find Dana's old house.
Do you recall the number, Kate Walker?
According to her registration form from the Music Academy, it was number 20.
Bueno chicos, pues lo dejamos aquí y seguiremos en el siguiente capítulo de Siberia. Si te gusta este vídeo no olvides suscribirte y dale un like si te ha gustado, no te cuesta nada y me ayuda un montón.